The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
America, a country that remembers its past and honors it. Last week, the Patriot Fire Cup Series honored the 4th of July as America celebrated a 241st birthday. Tonight, the Premier Racing League races at the oldest track in the United States, the Milwaukee Mile. Tonight, the beer, the brats, and the boys of the Patriot Fire Cup Series are in action on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. You know, the weekend is almost here when the boys of the PRL are ready to get to racing, and that's what we're doing tonight. Welcome to the historic Milwaukee Mile for the Wisconsin 150. I am Chris Skala alongside Sean Ambrose. I'm Jed Yaman, is of course calling the shots behind the scenes, and Dougie Beard is on the cameras. Now, Sean, unless there's another track I've not heard of, we're at the oldest track in the United States, not to mention the second oldest track in the world, period. The Milwaukee Mile. It's a flat, it's wide, it's tricky. Tell us about this 1 mile oval.
Well, welcome to this classic American oval racetrack, and as you might deduce from its name, it is only 1 mile in length. Now the turns are flat with only about 9 degrees of banking, Chris, and you know it's located right here on the grounds of the old Wisconsin State Fair Park in West Allis, Wisconsin, a suburb west of Milwaukee. That's Algonquin, by the way. The track owns the distinction of being the second oldest operating motor speedway in the world. Now, barring the break for World War II, the Milwaukee Mile has hosted at least one auto race every year since 1903. And this track has held events sanctioned by major bodies such as the American Automobile Association, USAC, NASCAR, CART, Champ Car, World Series, and IndyCar Series. Now, they paved it in 1954. In addition to the oval, there is a 1.8 mile 2.8 kilometer road circuit located in the infield. But you know what? We're not worried about that lefty-righty tonight. What we are going to do is we're going to hop on board the GSRC Monster Energy Cup Car for a lap around the Milwaukee Mile.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek, taking you for a spin around the legendary Milwaukee Mile in the GSRC Chevrolet SS. So without further ado, here we go. Coming off a turn 4, these really flat corners. Watch the wheel spin off the corner right there. Coming down the front stretch. Big, wide, open arc down here into turn 1. Milwaukee drives so different, really, than any other track on the circuit. The only thing I could think of that it's close to is like a New Hampshire. We really kind of run the middle and then try to diamond through the bottom. Same here down into turn 3. Let it swoop out real wide. Watch the car getting loose under braking. Bringing it down here around the rumble strip. Swinging it just out here a little bit to the fence. Runs a little different. The speed is often here at Milwaukee found out by the wall and not straight off of the corner. Down here to turn 1 again. You might see guys move around, take a really high arc, and then try to bring it down real low here. Coming off of the corner, watching that wheel spin, car getting a little loose. Back down here into turn 3, swooping in real wide, watching where the rear wants to step out. You might want to dial some front brake into it for some stability. Kiss the rumble strips a little bit. Coming off of turn 4, watch the wheel spin once again, down the front stretch and across the line. And that's going to complete our track guide here around the Milwaukee Mile. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
And that was a lap around the Milwaukee Mile. Chris, for the guy who was looking for that first win tonight, struggled at Daytona but hopes to rebound tonight, Tyler Dalton.
Now, Sean, I got to ask before I talk to Tyler, how do you say this again?
Milwaukee. It's Algonquin.
That sounds like a candy bar. Anyways, all right, Tyler Dalton with me here this evening. Tyler, coming off a unfortunate tough result at Daytona, but we've been trying to talk to you over the last couple of weeks, and here you are tonight, the Milwaukee Mile. You're P2 in practice right now. Talk about your 19 car and how you're looking this evening.
I think the 19 car is going to be pretty good. Got Kirkwood Transport Services on there. But yeah, this track is tricky. It's really hard to be consistent lap after lap. I think whoever can do that the best is probably going to end up in victory lane.
Now, we talked about flat track races, Tyler. The last time we were on one was over in Japan. We won't talk about the circumstances. We'll just say you were running well before some things happened. Do you feel a similar set here compared to Motegi, or any differences?
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely similarities, but it's a much different track. Although, unfortunately, I think unless a meteor hits Jeff Ward's car, he's pretty much the fastest car out there tonight. But it'll be fun trying to race him.
It is possible, unfortunately, in iRacing for things like meteors to hit your car and it just blinks out all of a sudden. But we don't wish it will on anyone. But Tyler, tonight, pit road. We're going to talk about that as a key tonight. But this pit road is very, very tricky because it starts on the front straightaway. Do you find that being an issue tonight?
Honestly, I don't. Only for the reason that I don't think we're going to have green flag pit stops. It would be nice if we did, but this is Milwaukee, and the one groove racetrack, a lot of times contact does happen.
All right, Tyler. Well, we appreciate your time. As always, we wish you the best in that number 19 car. Ironically, did read it. Today's an anniversary for Davey Allison's passing, and here you are. You like to run that Haviland car, so maybe things turn and you go to victory lane.
Thank you. That would be great.
Absolutely. Tyler Dalton joining us here in that number 19 car, and we'll see how he can bounce back from that bad finish at Daytona. Now, Sean, tonight's 150 miles, 150 laps. If you divide 150 by 1, unless you went to school somewhere under a rock, it's 150. Halfway point's going to be lap 75, where the drivers 1 through 10 will get bonus points from 10 down to 1 at the halfway point. It's the 8th race out of the 12 for the summer season. Yazik's been stretching that point lead throughout the summers. You see him there. He's been dominating the flat tracks, and, well, as you're going to see in the overall standings, he's got a pretty good lead.
Yes, he does. Right now, 34 points puts Brian Yazik up top. Nick Cohan sits there in second. Tommy Ryan back 72 points. Now, there is a good battle. Thomas George right there on his tail. There in fourth, Tyler Dalton in fifth, looking for more points tonight. He's got looking over his shoulder at Ricky Harden, who is pretty good on these small flat tracks. Tim Johnston, seventh. James Grahula sits there in eighth. Drew Carroll, ninth. And Josh Skrupa, 10th. Now, these are the season standings. We don't have the summer standings available for you tonight, but that's where we sit overall right now, and Yazik has been the story. Chris, boy, I said it today in my notes from the Batcave. The numbers don't lie about what Yazik does to this type of track.
Yeah, you go back to Gateway a couple weeks ago, he won there. You go back to Twin Ring Motegi, yes, there was a little bit of drama, but he won there. He's the flat track man, as you call it right now. But here's the one difference, and we'll talk about this in the keys tonight. This isn't an egg. This is a flat oval. That could be a difference here tonight, because Motegi was an egg shape, Gateway's an egg shape, so we'll see how this works here this evening. But the news of the week here, it's pretty much about one guy, and it's his teammate, actually, Jeff Ward. He has been the dominator. Tyler Dalton referenced him being the guy to beat tonight, potentially. Jeff Ward as not only the fastest in practice here by a little over a tenth, but he was also the winner of the American Pool Supply Truck Series race on Sunday. And he also won the Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series race on Tuesday. So safe to say tonight it might be Jeff Ward. We're talking to a victory lane tonight, and it would not be a surprise, but that could be something to watch here at Milwaukee. And then also, I'm going to share a story here. It's going to get a little personal here for a second. But tonight's race, I didn't share it at the beginning because I wanted to wait till this part, is actually the Chuck Pops Skala 150, which, yes, that's my father. And basically the reason why the race is named the way it is tonight, Sean, is as you know, Thursday last week, I had to bail out and just jet to Florida as quick as I could. And basically, unfortunately, my father passed away 2 weeks ago tonight, and so they're honoring us tonight. They sent me a message earlier this week, James Krahula did, and said, I want to run this race for your dad, which was very humbling and very cool, and that kind of thing. But Dad was an iRacer, and you know, he liked to get out here and have a good time, and for them to come over to me and say, hey, I want to name this race after your dad, that was pretty cool. So that's tonight's race, the Chuck Pops Skala 150 at Milwaukee. And I did tell James I would promote this, but for you guys watching on the chat here on the Global Sim Racing channel, I'm going to be putting a race together in the near future to raise money for the American Cancer Society. It's going to be at Talladega, and it's going to be a team race, and it's going to be 24 hours. And that sounds weird, but we're going to do it to raise money for the American Cancer Society. So I will get some info on that and get it out to James and everybody in the PRL so that all you viewers and everybody's invited. So if you want to help raise a cure for cancer, we'll do our part for that. So there you go, Sean. Enough about me. Enough about the family. It's a cool thing, but it's all about racing, which they're qualifying right now, Sean. And let's talk about the keys for tonight. Don't leave the bottom being number one.
Yeah, that really seems to be where the grip is at. And let's face it, you need grip to get around this flat track. But yeah, through the turns, really, the grip, like I said, is right down there on, it's really on the yellow line. It's not next to it. You can get up on that, ride it a little bit, actually use that for a little bit of grip. It'll help you out. But that is where you're going to see them fighting, is down low.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. You want to get right down that yellow line as you see there in the corners. Now, key number 2, I brought this up to Tyler. He didn't think it's going to be a big deal, but I really do think it could be, especially if it comes down to single or getting on the pit road single file, especially if you're 2x2. But this pit road, it's narrow, it's tricky, and it starts on the front straightaway, which makes it interesting.
Yeah, it's not a lot of fun. But, you know, I didn't get to watch the Grand National race last night, so I don't know exactly what happened there. But I did see and was on the call for the truck race on Sunday night. And I think I'm going to go with Tyler Dalton. I don't know if it's really going to be a factor. I think there'll be enough strategically placed cautions that I don't know that you're going to really need to worry about getting on and off pit road at speed. If they do, Chris, our cameras will be right on it. But that entrance to pit road that Jonathan Goodell just went by, it comes up real quick. It's not a big window. You got to stick it in there, and you gotta get a 10. You got to hit your marks, if you know what I mean. You can't fail on that entry. If you do, it's curtains, baby.
Key number 3 for this evening, and I mentioned it a second ago, this is not an egg track. However, Yazik has dominated the flat tracks, and this kind of leads me into your wherever you were speaking from this week pick. Yazik going to dominate tonight in Milwaukee?
I think the potential's there. I do. Again, just based on what has happened already this season, I think if he had been there Sunday night to run the truck, I think he'd have won that race. Jeff Ward has been awful hot, but again, I just like this track. I like this combination for Yazik. I said it this afternoon from the Bat Cave, and I'm going to roll with that and go with Yazik tonight.
Yazik is going to be the pick, and I said earlier in the video that I did, I wasn't on the Schneid. I was actually working my other job, but I usually don't make picks. But something told me after I made that video, I'm like, you know what? I think tonight I'm going to make a pick. And the only reason I'm doing this is because of the personal situation with the race and everything. And it's kind of ironic because I just saw Ricky Harden's paint scheme. And Ricky Harden's got a pop scheme on there, which is kind of cool. And so with that said, my dad always ran number 15 when he raced. Why not? I'm not going to I'm just going to pick a guy. I mean, if he wins, cool. I'm not going to play favorites because that's not what I do in the booth. Ricky Harden's my pick tonight.
Yeah, I like that pick. I think Ricky's going to do fine here tonight. And provisionally right now in qualifying, I think he's 6th, though definitely has speed to compete here at the track, Chris. I think you put your money on a good horse, buddy.
I see what you did there. Now, with that said, we got just a couple minutes left here, about 5 minutes to go in practice. We'll get ready to crown our pole sitter, which is not Jeff Ward, which is interesting right now. As a matter of fact, Jeff Ward.
Ward's not done yet.
He hasn't even qualified yet. He hasn't even run a lap yet, so we'll have to see if he does run a lap. But Nick Cohan right now on the pole. Nick unfortunately finished last week in Daytona. He was involved in an incident But he's got a 28.475 lap going right now as Jeff crosses the line now. And that changes. 28.3. Jeff Ward's on the pole now, so I don't know if anybody's going to touch that. I think it's safe to say let's go ahead and give him the NP3 Designs pole award winner with the lap of 28.3 seconds. Jeff Ward going to be the pole award winner as you watch him right now post Loud Pedal Motorsports car off of turn 4 here. And you talk about the trickiness. One part of this track that's also tricky, that wall right there in turn 1, that thing will reach out and grab you if you enter that corner wrong.
Yes, it will, sir, and you've got to be on point. You know what? 150 miles doesn't, or 150 laps doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, 150 miles of focus at this track is a lot. You will be busy. There'll be traffic around you all night. Great lap here by Jeff Ward, though, to take down this NP3 Designs pole award this week. Congratulations to him.
Jeff Ward winning another pole on a flat track. Other than that, you think of Charlotte, you think of Texas and tracks like that earlier this year where he actually was the dominant guy in the 1.5 mile high banks. Now he's got the 1 mile flat tracks all covered when it's over with tonight with the NP3 Designs Pole Award winner. Sean, talk about what you're looking forward to this evening.
Well, what I'm looking forward to is what I didn't get Sunday night. I'd like to see a nice green flag run here where these guys actually get to play out a little bit of strategy. That didn't really come into play Sunday night. So we'll see if the Cup cars can be a little bit different. But, you know, honestly, I think you might see somebody, maybe even a team, couple drivers, try and one-stop this race if they can, Chris.
I think that's definitely possible. I don't know if the tires are going to go that long, but you definitely could see something like that happen here. But kind of a smaller field this evening. I'm only counting 25 cars as of right now that have got into the room, and I do want to send a shout out. I know I didn't get a chance to watch last week, but Sean, you and Justin last week for the filling in. I literally left you guys about 3 hours to get prepared, and I just you guys, great job on calling the race last week, and definitely had fun watching it. And a little known fact, 2 things I learned from Daytona. Tommy Ryan is unstoppable qualifying at Daytona because he won the pole 3 straight races there. And 2, they went 160 straight laps in the summer race at Daytona caution free. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff, Chris. Pretty good stuff. But yeah, I want to thank Justin for coming in on last minute's notice as well. He did a great job, and he's one of our new little buddies here at the Global Sim Racing channel. Watch out for Justin Prince. He's one of the up-and-comers here on the roster, Chris. Out to take my job and Soup's job and your job too at some point. The artist formerly known as Justin, shall we call him?
Yes.
All right, 2 minutes to go before the before the start of the race. We got to go down to the national anthem. Back here at the Milwaukee Miles, we get ready for racing coming up here in about 30 seconds or so. We'll get the green flag, as we mentioned. Jeff Ward going to be the pole sitter. Nick Cohan will start second, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the starting grid for this race. As I mentioned, Jeff Ward, Nick Cohan, that Loud Pedal Motorsports team, they've locked down the front row.
Yes, sir, they have. And we go to row 2, it'll be Tommy Ryan and Tim Johnston.
Tyler Dalton, the interview, we talked to him starting in the 5th position, and there's Mr. Yazik, 6th. He'll be quickly to the front, I think.
Row 4, Rhett McBride and Ricky Harden.
Checking out row number 5 here, Devin Sarah, the Captain Motorsports guy, and Thomas George there in 10th.
All right, row 6, Woodrow Mahan and Jonathan Cadell going to slug it out to start this race off.
Yeah, Mr. Excitement there, Drew Carroll. He'll start inside of row number 7 alongside James Krahula.
Okay, and then go to row 8, Randy Yoakum, Jonathan Lawrence.
Taking a look at row number 9, Devin Cannon there alongside of Justin Rodden.
Row 10, Matt Murphy and Rich Jetty.
Rich Jetty, last week's Daytona winner, first-time winner for him. Calvin Volarski inside of Gerald Livingston there in row number 11.
Okay, I'll take the last 3. Norman Pelletier, 23rd. John Wilco, 24th. And Snoop Doggy Don Runkle is here tonight. The double-aught zigzag cup ride will start 25th.
There you go. The full field of 25 racers going to go here at the Milwaukee Mile. This is part of the Midwest Swing, as we'll call it here. Not the St. Lunatic song, but the actual Midwest Swing. Here's where at Milwaukee this week, and then next week we go hit the Brickyard at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And this is one of those historic tracks, Sean. We talked about the Milwaukee Mile. Opened, or broke ground, I should say, in 1899. Now, rumor has it Brian Yazik was still alive at that point.
Oh.
Can't confirm nor deny.
Oh.
But it was a horse racing track, I believe, at first, and was not paved until the 1950s.
Yeah, and a pretty interesting story about how this whole track came to be. And it's, well, let's just say there are probably some skeletons in some closets around this track. All kinds of wild stories. In fact, I would suggest to race fans to maybe Google the Milwaukee Mile. And I'm not going to talk about any conspiracy theories here or anything, Chris. Don't worry about that. But let's just say there's a little bit of mystery that surrounds the whole Milwaukee Mile facility.
Why don't we talk with Soup about that then? Because if you've watched any of our bootleg broadcasts when Sean's been gone, Soup has been turned. I have turned Soup into the Sam Posey of GSRC.
That is a role he gladly accepts and enjoys, I'm sure.
Well, the problem is he had to ask who Sam Posey was. I don't know what else to say to that.
He knows.
Oh, he was playing dumb with me, as you're trying to say.
I'm thinking yes.
I mean, he did do a good job calling a couple of road races I've been around here in the last couple weeks, so. All right, 150 laps, 150 miles to halfway point. Going to be lap 75 as you see Jeff Ward and Nick Cohan. And you know, Sean, I did some thinking. And I know you have your line you like to say. I'm going to add to it because pace car's about to pull off, Sean.
Let's boogie, baby. Get this party going now.
I like it. Pace car going to hang a dead left, and only one thing left for these PRL guys to do, and that's to get the green flag and send it to turn 1. Jeff Ward, Nick Cohan. Everybody got to get single file quick. That outside line, you are just going to fall back. Tommy Ryan looking inside. Tyler Dalton down there. You see Tim Johnson stuck up on the high side, and those leaders got single file real quick. Everybody nice and clean down into turn 3 and 4. And we're going to get lap 1 of the books. Tim Johnson run on Tommy Ryan there for the 3rd spot.
Oh, we got one car loose off of 4.
Oh,
it's going to be Norman Pelletier.
Oh, Stormin' Norman.
Yeah, he spins it himself, actually, and noses it into the inside retaining wall. Hits it really hard. You can see it here coming off of 4. Just doesn't have the grip in it yet. Gets back to the throttle a little too early there, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, he almost got the barriers there, but knocks down the Toyota part of the wall there, and unfortunately, that Rain-X car is smoking pretty good right now, and that's going to bring the first caution out here on lap number 2.
Bring him down. Fill him up. Put 4 fresh Goodyears on him. No, not really. I think you'll expect to see everybody stay out here.
I could see some people in the back topping it off a little bit here, especially if you do want to try to get to halfway. Yeah, I'm assuming you could probably go 80, 85 laps somewhere in that range on fuel here, because you think of like New Hampshire, Phoenix tracks that are a mile and that kind of thing. I think you can go about that distance here at Milwaukee. But let's see what the leaders do here. See if anyone peels off, and going to go with an early pit strategy. Ricky Harden. Ricky Harden's going to be first, and here comes the whole back of the field pretty much. Krahula, Yoakum, I see Jonathan Lawrence, Devin Cannon. So the whole back of the field coming in.
Okay, why not? Give it a run.
Well, yeah, I mean, get off strategy with the leaders here. You're going to get a couple extra laps of fuel plus some cautions here. What do you got to lose?
Now, Norm Pelletier is still in his car, Chris, getting as much of that damage repaired as he can. We're in under this caution. Still heavy front end damage on the Rain-X Chevrolet.
Now, the
Toyota,
one thing,
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Now, the one thing I didn't get a chance to give a shout out to Norm last week. Norm won himself a race at Daytona in the Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series last Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays ago now. But I was actually honored to be a part of that race, and had a fun race with him and a couple others and stuff. And Norm getting that win, so I wanted to send a shout at him. Congratulations. Unfortunately, not going to happen tonight, though. No reports of Brutus yet on the track, which is definitely some good news.
Yeah, no, Brutus is still in his kennel right now. Just not enough time yet. He's patient. He's fine. He just got here, Chris.
Oh, Brutus is arriving late. What, do you go get a broad or something? It is Milwaukee.
Yeah, we had trouble getting him through the security today. But that's a whole other story. It's all right. Brutus is going to be fine. He's going to be fine.
Darn you, Customs.
Well, for some reason, we had to travel through Canada to get to Milwaukee. It's a long story.
What?
Anyway.
From Long Island?
I don't know.
Is that one of those deals where you get to some of those airline flights that travel from Rochester, New York to Orlando, Florida, and you got to stop in Phoenix, Arizona?
Who routed this thing?
You get those kind of flights sometimes. Don't make sense. It's like brushing your teeth without toothpaste. Anyways.
We're getting them lined back up here, Chris. It is time to go racing. Let's hope we go racing for a little bit here.
I think it's a great idea. These guys definitely got the talents to do so, but you see your top 10 right now. Ward, Cohan, Ryan, Johnston, McBride, Dalton, Devin, Sarah, Brian, Yazik, Woodrow, Mahan, Thomas, George. Pace car gonna hang a left. Hey, there's Sean's ride home. Pace car taking its joyous time here. Again, pit wall. There's Tricky pulls in. Here we go. Jeff Ward back on it. Nick Cohan, Tommy Ryan, Tim Johnston, Tyler Dalton, your top 5 there. Again, that outside line falling back.
Ooh, Ricky Harden making an early move to the inside here down the back stretch. And a 3 moves down to the bottom, brings Krahula with him.
I believe he's got 4 new shoes on that car.
He does. So does James Krahula.
We'll see how these tires go to work here early. That track position, I think, is going to be key tonight, but those tires will help out. Speeds up to about 160 mile an hour, almost down into turn 3 here. And they got to slow down to almost about 100 mile an hour, literally.
Hashtag send it, baby.
You better send it. Jonathan Goodell, I'm watching this fight back here. This is the 8th position inside of Rhett McBride. That's Steel Horse Racing number 2. Going to lose a spot there, and here comes Drew Carroll with him.
Oh,
here comes Devin Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah bringing it in there hot.
And here comes Ricky Hardner thinking 3 wide off 4. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, you've got the room to do 3 right on this track, but it's just so flat.
It's funnels. Its problem is it funnels off the corner.
Yeah.
It's really tight here because you're sliding right here off the corner. And there's just not room.
Harden going to the inside of Brett McBride.
Oh, Harden. Oh, that was close. Harden moving up to the 10th position. Make that 11th. He's gone by Brett McBride here. And look at this fight up here ahead. Brian Yazik underneath Tommy Ryan. Bringing Tim Johnston with him. This is for the 4th position. Tyler Dalton already gone by for 3rd. Ooh, Johnston to get a little wiggly. Yeah, Ford getting away, but not far. Only about a 4/10 of a second lead right now on Nick Cohan. You mentioned Dalton, you mentioned Yazik, those guys right there in your top 4. Thomas George hanging out there in the 6th position. Make that 7th there behind Tim Johnston, who looks underneath Tommy Ryan.
I'm watching Drew Carroll back here in 9th, and Devin Sarah right up on the bumper there. Carroll that time going into 1. They'll both get off 2 together. This is a good little battle heating up. This is kind of the second grouping, if you will. Back here behind Cadell.
On board with that Fred J. Moyer plumbing car. And I should mention real quickly, one thing I noticed about the finishing order last week at Daytona was all the cars that came back from being a lap down. You look at Devin Sarah being one of them. There were, I think, the top 5, like 3 of the top 5 at one point were a lap down. Thomas George finished 3rd in that race. He was a lap down in the race at one point. 2 weeks ago. I keep thinking last week was 4th of July. Don't mind me. Well, it was, but this is what happens when you've been gone for 2 weeks.
And Chris, as we come around here for lap 15, guys in the chat, I think a little something there for Pops going on.
Yeah. I've been kind of seeing it, and I'm trying not to. I mean, it's cool. Thank you, is all I'll say. It's cool. Wow. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure. I guess iRacing Live. You guys might not be able to see the chat. I'm not sure. I don't get to watch iRacing Live much, unfortunately. But over here on the GSRC chat and YouTube, that's where everybody's posting pretty much RIP Pop Skala, which is kind of cool. So it's not kind of cool. It's really cool. So thank you guys very much. And yeah, he's smiling right now watching this race. And it's kind of ironic that the 15 car is behind the captain car.
So, Chris, update on Norm Pelletier. He did get back out on the track. He's 6 laps down right now. Car still has heavy damage on the front end. He's going to try and stay out here and rack up as many points as possible.
And that's what you got to do, because you're going to have more incidents, we think, throughout this race. And you got Jonathan Lawrence, the only other car lap down. So right now he's not in line to see Brutus visit him, but he could get a wave around or something with the lucky break.
Well, I'll tell you what, Drew Carroll still the class of this pack right now. Sarah not able to. He looks a little anxious, but not. He can get there. He just can't seem to pull off a move to get around. I think right now it's all about let's take care of the tires. We do have a lot of racing left to go here. Just 131 laps or so.
Ooh. Watching the back bumper of Devin Sarah about lighting up Drew Carroll. Almost giving him the chrome horn here. Almost like a Saturday night in the BRL, except we're in the PRL.
Yeah, and I keep seeing that every lap, actually. Devin keeps charging hard at him, but then backs out of it. Then he has to kind of get started all again, get back up on his pony, and start digging a little harder.
Well, you might be able to see the difference here. You see Drew Carroll? He is driving it easy in and hard off, where Devin is driving it hard in and probably easy off. And that's where you're seeing kind of the difference in driving in speeds and then coming off speeds. I see Jonathan Lawrence is falling through. So here in about 3 laps, Norm will have the a visit from potentially Brutus if we get a caution. Everybody pretty much single file all the way around the track. The best battle you're going to see is this 4-car train back here as you've been watching with Drew Carroll and Devin Sarah, Ricky Hart, and Rhett McBride. These 4 here nose to tail down the back straightaway here. One car sliding up the track there. There was Ricky Harden going to lose his spot to Rhett McBride. The Red will move up now to the 11th position ahead of Ricky. Not sure if that was a just a slip up by Ricky. Not sure what totally happened there.
Well, that reels him back in next to his teammate, or at least close to his teammate there, in James Krahula. Now remember, those two did come in, get the tires and the fuel before. Everybody else, though, here up in the top 11, though, they stayed out on track, Chris.
Yes, you're seeing the tires not really playing a huge dividends right now from the guys who pitted the farthest up right now. It's Ricky Harden there in the 12th position. So, obviously, just a lap on your tires, you're not going to see too much of a difference in this. But lap 24 in the books, Jeff Ward has led them all. And he's looking to sweep the weekend.
Yeah, I gotta admit, things are pretty good for Jeff Ward right now.
Something tells me he might be changing the paint on that car to Boss instead of Bose by the end of this night.
He is driving it like a boss.
He is. I mean, the last time we saw something this dominant in Milwaukee might be the football team up the road. Up, we got a trouble. Turn.
Uh-oh. Devin
4,
Sarah,
like.
yeah, out of 4.
It's Devin Cannon. The other Devin.
No, it was Devin Sarah.
Oh, Sarah's
Chris.
around, so both of them are around, Sarah and Cannon. Oh, boy.
Well, Sarah gets loose coming out of 4. He didn't have any help on that one. The car just started to kind of slide around, and he slides right around in front of Ricky.
Oh, it's not a good night to be Fred J. Moyer plumbing cars all of a sudden on 4. Right on board with James here. Oh yeah, Devin gets a little wiggly there. Smacks the wall, and it didn't look like he got it that hard, if anything. Unfortunately, though, Devin Cannon, though, got it pretty good. But that's going to bring the second caution out. Will probably bring the leaders to pit road.
Oh, I think after that run, everybody's going to want to come in here. But that was a good run, Chris. Was happy to get it. That's what we're talking about.
Leader's going to come to pit road, and I think we're going to have a visit from Brutus here very shortly. But first, we'll cover the pit stops. One car staying out, Gerald Livingston.
I think Gerald saw that traffic in front of him and said, you know what? I don't really want to mess with that. Going to go around another lap.
Everybody getting 4 tires fuel. I did see Tim Johnson had to back up at his pit, and that's going to cost him. But easily, Jeff Ward off pit road going to win this race. Everybody 4 tires and fuel. But caution number 2 on the track as we will award our Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog. Let's put him out. Norman Pelletier to 3rd. Going to get Brutus visit number 1. Potentially a lot here tonight for that Rain-X car. Your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Coastal Safety Auditors. We're going to take a break, and we're going to go refresh our brats and come back, and we'll have some more racing here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Back at the Milwaukee Mile and some gambling going on. Gerald Livingston has stayed out in the 64 car. He has, it looks like about 23 lap fresh or older tires on the leaders here. Jeff Ward's going to restart second with the fresher tires. Nick Cohen, this is going to be a very interesting turn one. Trying to listen, Gerald saying something over chat and get it picked up here. I think Livingston might be pulling down here. He's going to pull down here and get the green flag. So he needs to take off and then pull down if he's going to do that. Let's see. Oh, no, he's pulling down. And lets the leaders go to turn one. And this actually hurts Jeff Ward because now he's side by side for the lead. And loses it.
I'm sorry. I just don't understand that whole process right there. But good job, Jeff Ward, recovering. Gets there with Cohan, door to door, going through three.
Yep, Ward looking for it. Drives to the bottom and to the lead. Jeff Ward, the dominator. Tyler Dalton up to third. Brian Yasik up to fourth. Everybody single file through 3 and 4 here. Of course, the Milwaukee Mile on the Wisconsin Fairgrounds. We mentioned, if you were listening during the pre-show, it was built back in the whopping year of 1899. Don, do you know what happened back in 1899?
Everybody was really worried about their computers crashing when it flipped over to 1900. I know that.
Well done. Well done. That's a better answer than I was going to give you. I was just going to simply say I have no clue because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Is that a random poll question for the fans tonight? Where were you in 1899?
I think so. Yeah, that'd be a little soup trivia for everybody this evening. Just leave it really open-ended. What was going on in 1899?
Oh, good stuff.
No telling the number of answers we'll get on that.
Oh, soup. Tyler Dalton looking to pressure Cohan up here for second.
Well, somebody better pressure somebody because Jeff Ward is running away again. Cohan, though, you know what? Boy, he seems to be really good through the center of the turn right now. We're early in the run, and that might just be indicative of that car being good early in the run. We'll see if we keep doing that. We can at least keep Jeff Ward close. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's all about rotating your car through the corner here. If you can literally drive the corner in, let off the throttle, let the car set, and just rotate through, that car will take off like a missile. We got a gaggle back here. Let's look at the 10th position, where Jonathan Cadell, Brett McBride, the 15, Ricky Harden, James Carula, Woodrow Mahan. 5 cars under a blanket here. Is Mahan going to look underneath at 4?
You know, and I thought Ricky Harden picked up a little bit of damage on that that incident there in that last caution. He did. A little bit of a wrinkle there on the front end of the 15. Boy, you certainly want to have downforce here. And
yes.
Any little bit of aero damage could really, really hurt you. Ricky might be struggling with that car a little bit. We'll see if it gets a little bit better throughout the run. But with the track conditions staying only 87 degrees on track, it's kind of a mostly cloudy day. This is really, really good conditions for racing here. And I don't think the tires are going to be as big a factor as we thought early on, Chris.
Well, especially I think if you get 5 or 10 laps on a set of tires, I think the strategy is worth maybe trying 2 tires. But later in the race, you get 20, 25 laps. I think you automatically got to go for 4 when it is all over with. Now, I did see a chat. One of our buddies there, Brett's talking about his favorite Milwaukee memories, a 1, 2, 3, 4 from Team Penske in the 94 IndyCar race. I was like 8. Let's see. Trying to think who would have been driving the Penske cars at that time. Probably Emerson Fittipaldi. Paul Tracy.
I'm struggling here. Struggling.
Trying to think who would be the third one. Paul Tracy, Emerson Fittipaldi was probably 2. don't think it would be Jill DeFerrin yet. I'll have to think about that third one. Wouldn't be Al Unser, would it?
Yes. Yes. Unser, Fittipaldi, and Tracy scoring 12 wins out of the 16 total races that season, actually. So there you go.
I guess I am a human dictionary, like people call me.
That was a pretty dominant season from Penske Motorsports there. Chris, I tell you, Thomas George doing a decent job right now holding off any attacks by Drew Carroll right now. He seems to be in control of this second pack, but really not picking up any ground on Tim Johnston, who's almost a second and a half ahead of him.
He talked about these packs, Sean, and you look out throughout the season, you've had the Yaziks, you've had the Jeff Wards, even guys who aren't here, Scott Eckrich, those guys who've been winning a lot of the races, Nick Cohan, you can put him in that list. And then you've had a second tier of guys. You look at the Thomas Georges, you look at the Tyler Daltons, Tim Johnston you could put in this list. So those guys who are just so close, they're almost to the top rung to grab the belt. And they haven't been able to do it yet. It's the question's like, when's it going to happen?
You just got to keep racing, man. You just got to keep racing. Keep digging and hope good things come soon.
And of course, if you think back to Twin Ring Motegi between Thomas George and Tyler Dalton, one of them were likely going to be on the top rung, but unfortunately it didn't work out. Lap number 42 in the books. Remember, 75 to halfway point will give away some bonus points. Jeff Ward has led 40 out of the 43 laps so far this evening. Gerald Livingston has led the other 2.
Yeah, we're knocking them down tonight for sure. Right now we can make it. We can go green to the halfway point here. I'd say you'd be going.
Tim Johnston underneath
pretty
Tommy
well.
Ryan for position. Sorry to cut you off, Sean. This is for the 6th spot. Actually, I should say that's 5th. Tim Johnston moving up to 5th. Tyler Dalton right up ahead of here. Under attack from Mr. Yazik. Loud Pedal trying to do what Team Penske did in 94 here and go 1, 2, 3.
Boy, Yazik gets that car to turn in really well.
He takes the position away. Dalton lets him go, so Loud Pedal Motorsports a 1, 2, 3 right now. Tommy Ryan in 6th, and you mentioned the 2 here battling for 7th. Thomas George, Drew Carroll, Mr. Excitement. A little bit of a diamond there into the corner, brings it down to the bottom. And clip that apex.
Yeah, battle's getting exciting now for sure. Carroll looking like someone who wants to try and take that position finally. Ooh, and he runs right up on him there going into turn 1. Oh, contact almost made. Oh, Carroll really fighting that car coming off of turn 2.
He wrestling that thing.
Yeah.
Swatting some flies, shall we?
Yeah, swatting flies, sawing logs, yeah.
The old fly swatter out.
He is not liking those 20 lap old tires right now. Carroll is really struggling with that car.
Drew's one of those aggressive guys, Sean, when you think about it. If he drives hard to begin the run, you're going to burn your tires off. And Drew might have that issue right now where he's burnt these tires off trying to get up there. Plus, you've been behind Thomas George, and that clean air, it's not so clean in that area. When you got a one-group track like this and you're behind other cars, that's not going to help your car. It's going to get tight.
Yeah, I'm watching Drew's hands in the car right now, and he is just fighting that wheel every turn.
Riding on board with Drew here. See how he brings it down in there. Look how much wheel he's putting in there. I'm not sure what some of the...
Devin Serra with big trouble. Not sure exactly what happened there, Chris, but the car is smoking bad. He's down on the inside.
Blown up. Devin Sarah to 20 up in smoke. So the two Captain Motorsports cars that are here tonight, Brett Pancari's not here this evening. Unfortunately, already going behind the wall with motor problems.
Wow. Well, it appears all of his dreams have gone
up in smoke.
Up in smoke. That's tough.
Well, something tells me the guy who does the Facebook page will have an easy article to write.
Oh, Yazik just had a moment coming off of turn 4. Car just got a little loose on him, stepped away from him. He gathered it up.
Yazik, he's driving hard right there in that double 5, trying to get to the second position at HPP Simulations. Ford Fusion. Brian went out to Iowa Speedway, took that track out, and watched the IndyCar race last Sunday. I've done that track myself. His caution is out.
Oh, and it's Rich Jetty with trouble.
Oh, the
right in front of Livingston. Right in front of Livingston and Justin Rodden. Jetty just gets into trouble coming off the turn. Car just gets loose. He overcorrects.
Oh, don't do that. He about pulled out in front of the pack. Oh, yeah, he went around and Livingston just finished him off. Ouch.
Jetty gets checked up there, too. I think, or I'm sorry, not Jetty, but you said Livingston was there.
Oh, and then was that Rodden getting in the back of Livingston?
Yeah, Rodden, I'm sorry, that's who I was trying to do. The 27 also gets that, too.
Well, third caution out, lap number 53. We'll see them probably come back to pit road for tires. At least we think. They say that from what happened last caution.
Rich Jetty in the Godzilla Resurgence paint scheme this evening. Looks like maybe Rodan is winning right now.
Well done. Oh, Cohan, did he overshoot his pits? Oh, wow, he's over the line, but apparently the pits here are a little weird.
Well, technically, the wheel is just behind the line.
Not about the wheel. Yazik went to race off pit road.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Well, John Force out of his pit stall.
Put it out.
I'd say. Wow.
So you mentioned Yazik was at Iowa last weekend. He wasn't just there by himself. He was there with
everybody with him.
He was there with the guys from the Lionheart IndyCar series. And if you're not familiar with those boys, we cover them on Wednesday nights, generally every Wednesday night here in the Lionheart IndyCar series. And there was a group of about 8 or 9 of them that all made it out there. And those guys had in too cool of a time. They all got to have breakfast with AJ Foyt.
Wow.
Yes, the AJ Foyt, and got a picture with him, and I'm sure Yazik had a question or two. We'll have to find out if he joins us when this race is over, if he had any good questions for Mr. Foyt.
I'd be very interesting to ask. But you did see for the second time tonight, Norman Peltier gets the Coastal Safety Auditor's Lucky Dog Award, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Norman Peltier 2 for 2 in the Coastal Safety Auditor Lucky Dog Awards. Apparently Tommy Ryan is having some electrical issues at the house. Hasn't dropped out or anything yet, but I'm just listening through chat here. Corolla's talking about apparently his just having some issues apparently with his computer.
Well, specifically, they're talking about his air conditioning going out at his home, and if that's the case, I'm I'm calling for the man card on that one. You raced through that, man.
Don, I think we know why you're saying that right now, because if our listeners listen closely sometimes, they will hear a noise coming out of one Sean Ambrose's microphone, and it happens to be an air conditioner.
That is not on.
We actually tell Sean to turn the air conditioner off in the 80-degree Long Island weather he's in right now.
Yeah, we're going to be fine. Ricky will be fine, too.
All right, Brian Yazik going to bring him to green here. Jeff Ward, Nick Cohan, Tyler Dalton, Tim Johnston, your top 5. Mr. Excitement, Drew Carroll, going to restart 6th with Thomas George, Rhett McBride, Jonathan Goodell, and James Krahula. Your top 10. Somebody did bring up a good point. Northern Tool does sell a pretty good window unit. Anyways, green flag is out. Tommy Ryan sponsor.
No!
Oh, squeezing.
Yeah. Boy, the Thomas George right up into Tim Johnston there. It was awful close.
That was a little touching, squeezing.
Loving.
And P2, oh, Jeff Ward contact on Cohen, it looked like there.
Boy, what a rough and tumble restart. Everybody's scrambling.
First battle side by side is way on towards the back here. Justin Ron gets shuffled out as John Wilco goes by. That's back at the...
and Livingston
15,
hits...
Wow.
What a great job by Justin Rodman hanging on to that after Livingston basically center punches him in the rear.
Meanwhile, Tommy Ryan is back on track. He's 19th, 1 lap down. So Tommy Ryan apparently going air conditioningless. Is that a word?
We'll give it to you.
All right, that works.
Tommy's taking the plastic window inserts out and going with that 840 air. Or 240 air, 2 windows at 40 miles an hour. I think we're going a little bit faster than 40 miles an hour tonight, though. Yazik in command of this race, though, right now.
Carroll and Thomas George back here, 6th position. George lets Carroll go. Yep, today, upstate New York, where I live, we got a bunch of rain, and I don't think it got above 70. I deliver for a living.
Jeff Ward is maybe looking at trying to get around Nick Cohan. I don't know. Maybe Jeff's just exploring a couple different lines here for a little bit later.
Oh, Woodrow Mahan cut the wall. Off turn 4 there. That 12, big time. Shot to the wall right behind James Krahula. Comes off and just gets a good push. Bam.
Old tank slapper.
As Chris Farley would say in the awesome movie is Tommy Boy. Son of a... Let's go leave a mark. Meanwhile, for the lead, a 5-car battle here. Yazik, Cohan, Jeff Ward, Tyler Dalton, Tim Johnston.
Boy, and they are really literally line astern all the way around this track.
Almost like the conveyor belt at Bristol, except we're in Milwaukee.
Really kind of is right now. But that's the safe place to be right now. Let's race hard. Not much work to do right now. Halfway point is coming up here. We've got about 10 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, lap 75 will get the halfway point, award bonus points 10-1 to positions 1 to 10. Yeah, and a random question just came to my mind, and I'm going to ask the viewers this. Who would be the bigger commentator in Milwaukee? Would it be Bob Uecker, a.k.a. Harry Doyle from Major League, or David Hobbs? Both Milwaukee people. Just thought about that.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with Bob.
Can't go wrong with Uecker.
Just a bit outside.
No, he tried to corner this.
Bob Uecker's a national institution.
Anytime I had a chance to listen to radio, I'd turn on Bob Uecker just to listen to a Brewers game. 80% of that movie, by the way, he did ad-lib.
He was a much better ball player than he gives himself credit for, too, actually.
Even our viewers agree. Doug's listening up on top of the booth here with the cameras.
I've actually got an old Bob Uecker baseball card in my old box of collectibles from when I was a kid.
Riding aboard James Krahula there in the 11th position. That number 4 car putting pressure on that number 2. You see how much they're out of the throttle. Just got to rotate the corner, and very easy to wear that right front out doing that here. Lap 67 in the books, just 8 from halfway. Nick Cohan putting pressure on Yazik. Surprise, Jeff Ward has not been able to get up there and pull away, but that just shows you track position, how important it is. Jeff Ward pretty much running away with the show just a little bit ago. Tyler Dalton there in the 4th position. Look at Jeff Ward sliding up there as you're right on board the 89. Down into turn 3 and 4. Right down that black strip there. You see the tire wear kind of moving up the track just a little bit. Again, next week, these PRL guys, the Patriot Fire Cup Series, going to be in Indianapolis. We hit the Brickyard. Round number 21 already of the season.
Bring your golf clubs, baby.
Oh, I will be. I'll be bringing my golf clubs. We'll be eating at St. Elmo's. We'll be, I could take you around Indianapolis, Sean. I've been there for a few years.
Yeah, I've enjoyed a few fun times in Indy as well. I love that place. They are definitely hallowed grounds when you step foot inside there, right off of 16th Street. It's quite a spectacle.
Now, if I'm you, I do not park off turn 2. You guys are listening?
No, the best place to park is in the neighborhood outside the backstretch there. Yeah, you know, for about $40, you can park in somebody's front yard for a whole weekend, man.
Oh, you do that off turn 4, and some will offer actual adult beverages for you.
Yes, and coffee the following morning. Yes.
I will say, though, I've always parked at the Coca-Cola lot off turn 4.
That's always a good party, actually, over the Coca-Cola lot there. It's pretty legendary over there.
So that'll be where we're at next week. So we'll go play at St. Elmo's Fire and go to Indianapolis and race. We'll see the highest mountains, maybe even too. Anyways.
Oh. You know, Tyler Dalton sitting back there in 4th right now. Tim Johnston riding right along with him. The Carolina drivers seem to be a good combination on track right now because Drew Carroll can't catch him. And that's a problem.
Well, you mentioned. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say he can't catch him, and then he turns the fastest lap around that last time. So maybe he is catching him just a little bit.
We wonder if Drew caught or did a little bit of tire saving there in that lap. And we talked about earlier how he maybe burning off his tires. This case, maybe actually not burning off his tires so much, and now he's getting that run. Not to mention he's not really behind anyone in that dirty air, so we'll have to see here as he tries to catch Tim Johnston. But you mentioned Tyler Dalton, that Haviland car, the anniversary today in 1993 the passing of Davey Allison from the helicopter crash at Talladega. Would it be ironic to see a Hamlin car back in victory lane?
Kind of would be a little ironic to see that this evening, yeah. Golly, hard to believe it's been that long.
Yeah, 24 years.
I seem to kind of remember that like it happened just last week, to be honest with you. I remember the first thought being, me and several friends, was just, the heck was he doing in a helicopter in the infield?
Jeff Ward for second.
Yeah, here we go.
Drives it in there. Well, you know your car's right when you can stick around that yellow line and it just sticks.
It seems to be getting a little bit better throughout the run here for Ward.
And halfway point we passed, by the way, and let's go ahead and throw that out there. Brian Yazik gets the American Pool Supply Halfway Award. See what happens when you talk about Indianapolis. Anyways, halfway award to Brian Yazik gets the 10 bonus points. We're leading at halfway 2 laps ago.
That's two
American Pool Supply Halfway Award.
That's 2 PRL races in a row. We've done that, and we're sorry, guys. Well, I did that to him Sunday night as well.
Yeah, you Marty read him back at Daytona, too, and called the halfway lap a lap early, too. So we'll give you that. I won't hit you for it.
I did.
Are we being innocent? Hey, we're not perfect, okay? There's a reason why we're doing iRacing stuff and simulations and not...
We're not perfect and we don't do math. Remember that.
No, never.
Well, that does shake things up a little bit with Ward going up to the second spot. Right now, everybody out for about 25 laps on this stint. Still have plenty left to go. But realistically, Chris, they could get this done with one more stop if this race stays mean and green like it is now. Yeah, you're looking at one more stop. You get this race done and over with.
Yeah, and the question is, when do you come to pit road? Let's move up here to this 4th place battle. Drew Carroll has caught in the back of the 54 of Tim Johnston. His car is probably feeling pretty tight riding behind Tyler Dalton the whole way. But, yeah, the question here, Sean, is when do you come to pit road? I mean, we've been green, as you mentioned, about 25 laps or so. Do you split this in half, maybe? Because, I mean, you do the math here, and here I try it. That would be 95 laps that you get to the finish. You split that in half, that's 42 and a half.
Yeah, but if, like, I'm Nick Cohan and I just turned my fastest laps of the race, do I really want to come in now when I'm, really starting to put some distance between myself and the rest of the field? I don't know. I think you keep driving it until you start losing significant time. I don't think anybody's doing that yet. I don't think there's tremendous amount of fall off at this point.
Tim Johnston's going to make a move. Dalton's going to wave him around here, so that USAA car going to go by, and let's see if Drew Carroll sticks it in there. But another thing you could do here, what if you're Ricky Harden or James Garula, Woodrum Hahn, 10th, 11th, 12th? Do you try? Oh, Dalton loose! I was going to... Oh, and caution is out.
Oh, Jonathan Cadell with trouble. Coming off of 4.
Calamity Corner claims someone in.
Yeah, that's where the trouble's been tonight, and it's Cadell. You're going to see the car break loose here coming off the exit. And when it does, he overcorrects just a bit, and boy, Rhett McBride with nowhere to go, going to finish him off there. And boy, that's going to be probably damage to the motor on that machine.
That's some steel horse on steel horse violence, I believe, there. Incidental, obviously. It wasn't anything intentional, but yeah, you see he gets loose and Rhett just finishing him off, unfortunately. We'll see pit stops here, and we'll get our coastal safety auditors lucky dog.
Cadell was having a nice quiet run. That is a shame that he is falling victim
check it up on pit road here.
Yeah, big time.
That almost got ugly. Let's see if Yazik's guys are up to par like they were last time by.
Boy, right side's already up on Yazik's car.
Boy, his boys are flying tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Left side's on.
Man, he's good at...
And Jeff Ward's going to beat him out.
Wow. Ward just gets him
Look
there.
at that battle there for about fourth. Holy cow. Drew Carroll, those guys there.
Yeah, Carroll's going to win that race off, and Ricky Harden will slot in behind him with Thomas George and Tyler Dalton.
Now, for the first time tonight, Norm Peltier is not the Coastal Safety Honda's Lucky Dog Award. It goes to Tommy Ryan. Coastal Safety Honda is your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Coastal Safety Honda's and Tommy Ryan back on the lead lap, AC or not. We'll have to find out if he's got AC or not. But we're going to step away for a quick second as you're watching the Global Sim Racing channel.
I'm back.
And back on the Global Sim Racing channel as we are at the Milwaukee Miles. You saw side by side. We're getting ready to come to the green flag here with Jeff Ward, your leader, Brian Yazik, Nick Cohan, Tim Johnston, Drew Carroll, your top five. Ricky Harden now up to the 6th position as the pace car. Going to hang a left here, and we'll go back to racing lap number 86, if I do the math correctly, which I can't. That should be about 64 laps to go.
That's right, Chris. 64 to go, baby. Good job.
25 or 64?
I just... No.
Exactly. That's sometimes to say nothing at all, right? Anyways, Jeff Ward pulling out to a pretty big lead already on Cohan. The first battle, Drew Carroll, Ricky Harden side by side. Thomas George going to follow him in there. George and Carroll have been stuck to each other like macaroni and corn.
Like macaroni and corn.
I always eat corn and macaroni together. That's just how I am. First thing I do. Oh, Ricky Harden! Oh, he gets turned!
Oh, boy, that's a mess. That is a mess. Pull out the accordion. Chris, it's just... Rhett checks
Ricky,
up a little bit.
Yeah.
Ricky... Rhett was probably still trying to get some grip in it, and he checks up, and Ricky checks up, and James is right there, and it's just a mess.
Caution number 5 on the track. And the... I think we can say the first lawn bill is going to be handed out tonight. Watch the inside here. You'll see the 42 of Matt Murphy. Go on board with Woodrow here, and Woodrow running Amjed's favorite paint. There's the big checkup. And then to the left, you'll see Matt Murphy come through the grass. That's how Matt Murphy did it, I guess, this time around, but there he is. And here come the leaders back to pit road. Some cars staying out.
Yeah, Mahan picked up a lot of damage on that Ford. That is a shame. Going to be hard for that car to be competitive going forward.
Well, that's when you get a 350-pound guy on your crew and have him jump on the hood a couple times.
Well, looks like Yazik's going to get out first of those who did pit.
That's an interesting strategy from Yazik because we went about 2 or 3 laps on a run there. But once again, I think I'm just double checking here to confirm our Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award for the 3rd time in 4 cautions. Norman Peltier to 3rd. Coastal Safety Honors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. And no, that is not Norm Peltier in that picture. That is Brutus. Now we need to check with Krahula and Yazik and those guys to see what is the record for most lucky dogs in a race.
I'm not sure what it is, but boy, Norm, real close to getting back into this race. Now be what, 2 laps down, or
he is
3?
now. I got him at
2 laps.
2 laps down in 19th right now. I see we've gotten in a chat about our favorite drinks over on chat. I just don't. I think somebody's spelling pepper wrong in chat.
Just not touching that.
Had to go with that line, didn't you, Sean?
Yeah. Well, my official sponsor is Monster. If I'm doing a broadcast, you can be rest assured there is a Monster close by.
I'm just sticking to water tonight, so. There's my water points right there. All right. So.
All right, Chris. Time to go back to some racing. The lights are out on a pace car. Let's get around this track one more time and cut them loose.
I like that idea. 92 laps going to be in the books here. That leaves us with 58. More math getting right. I'm getting better at this, Sean. I don't need a calculator. You mentioned Jeff Ward there on the inside of Nick Cohan, Tim Johnson, Drew Carroll, Thomas George. That's going to be your top 5. Tim Johnson's been just kind of hanging around there in 3rd. Could he pull the upset tonight? I mean, he does have a... he's got a real good record of running well here the last few weeks.
You said it. It's been quiet for him, and that's a good thing.
Here we go. Pace car going to pull left. Jeff Ward going to get on that pedal here in a second. You see the cars right there out of turn 4. A little bit of a checkup back of the pack, but everybody gets going. Clean start. Brett McBride going to fill the void to 5th, and here comes Johnson. Almost drives it out.
Oh, boy, there we go.
Jeff Ward the bumper, and they're wrecking back behind.
Livingston gets into
Tyler
it there.
Dalton. Dustin Rodden. Oh, right there up ahead, Justin Rodden 3 wide and kind of closes the door. And Livingston, how about Runkle getting through there with a little damage?
Yeah, Runkle had nowhere to go and no time to really react to it. We'll watch it again here on the replay. It looks like the 27 really just started to come down the track a little bit too soon there. Clips off Livingston, the other 64, and Runkle, again, nowhere to go.
I want to see if we get another view. I don't know if we get another view of this, but one thing I'm noticing here, I almost wonder if Rodden didn't realize Yazik was below Livingston here. Because watch up top here, and you're going to see Brian dives it in there, which he has every right to, but bam, there's the contact. 62, John Wilco getting a piece. We haven't said his name all night. Unfortunate for him. But yeah, it's just a racing deal, unfortunately, but you wonder if Rodden did not know that Yazik was down there. But Runkle coming to pit road, Tommy Ryan, Krahula, Mahan, pretty much guys with damage all coming to pit road. Oh, and Tyler Dalton just blew it up.
Wow.
And for the 4th time tonight, by the way, your Coastal Safety Honors lucky dog goes to Norman Peltier III, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Norm Peltier going to try to go from 6 laps down to a top 10 finish potentially. Now, what you guys didn't see on that restart, nothing ended up happening out of it, but up front, Nick Cohan drove it deep into turn 1, got in the back bumper of Jeff Ward there, and then the caution came out, but it was definitely interesting how Cohan got that start.
Well, now we've got a couple different strategies at play here. As you know, your top 6 right now all elected to stay out. Cars just behind them. 4 cars behind them? Yazik, Murphy, Yoakum, and Harden. 6 laps. And everybody else coming to pit and is got those brand new fresh tires. So, yeah, 3 different strategies working to the drivers on track right now.
That's what makes this racing fun. You just never know what the winning strategy is going to be. You get a car like Brian Yazik, who's sitting back right now in the... I got him in 7th right now. It's the farthest back he's been all night. And now he's got to work his way through the field in a part of the race that's obviously, going to get harder and harder to pass people because everybody's going to be racing hard.
Well, he was lucky not to get involved in that last caution.
Yeah. Sometimes those are the lucky breaks you need. You see Krahula, Woodrow Mahan, John Wilco all coming off pit road as we get 1 to go this time. Good news about Milwaukee is you do get shorter cautions here, about minutes, 1 minute laps under caution. All right, going into turn 3 and 4. Counting 14, make that 15. It is 14 cars on the lead lap. Don Runkle Jr. actually is coming out of pit road now. So 15 cars will be on the lead lap. As we come to take the green flag here, pace car going to hang a left. Lap number 97.53 to go in this packed crowd here at the Milwaukee Mile. Only crowd bigger you'll see in the state of Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, is a Green Bay football game. Cohan to the outside.
That's certainly not the Brewers.
No. Well, believe it or not, Green Bay season ticket holders, there's some on a waiting list that will go another generation before they get season tickets. True story. Look at Tim Johnston to the bottom for 2nd. And Drew Carroll all of a sudden in the picture.
Yeah, Johnston driving it like he stole it right now. Ooh, look at Cohan drop right in behind him.
Ooh, don't give him the bumper. Brian Yazik up to the 5th position already. He's got a couple lap newer tires. Oh, trouble. Turn 4. It is Woodrow Mahan. The blue bullet has gone around again. Caution number 7. Woodrow slid it wide, and oh, Norm got him. That will cost Norm his lucky dog. Anytime you get a 0 or 2 or 4X that brings out a caution or is a part of the caution, that takes away your lucky dog and will go to the next driver.
Yeah, tough break for him too.
Let's see what pit strategies we see here. Cars coming to pit road. Tim Johnson stays out. Everybody else to pit road.
Guess Tim
2
gonna try.
tires for Yazik.
There we
2
go.
for Harden.
Looks like everybody else taking 4, Chris.
Everybody taking 4. Tim Johnston staying out. And if I'm seeing this correctly, yep, John Wilco going to get the Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award. Put him out. John Wilco. Trying to see what his pain is today. Hey, are you doing goofy jokes? Not today, it looks like. But anyways, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services, Coastal Safety Auditors. We're going to step away real quick. We'll take a break. But as always, we'll go side by side here as you're watching the Premier Racing League on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. And back to the Milwaukee Mile as we have less than 50 laps to go, 47 to be exact. Tim Johnson has stayed out. He is on the oldest tires. Brian Yazik, Ricky Harden, 2 tires. The rest of the field on 4. Now we're really going to see how these tires play out here at the Milwaukee Mile. Two cautions in the first half of the race. We've had 5 in the second half. Action has definitely been picking up here. Pace car pulls off. Tim Johnston going to lead him to the green here. Can he score his first win? Good restart.
Boy, it really was.
Yazik, not so good of a restart. And trouble. Turn 1.
Boy. Yeah.
Things keep escalating. Don Runkle, and I don't think Runkle is happy with Gerald Livingston. He's drove up and hit him again, but Livingston involved in this, and Runkle, well, I think it speaks for himself, his issue.
Well, again, it's a situation where Runkle had nowhere to go.
Nope.
Car is junk. Just innocent bystander tonight, man. Sometimes it comes and finds you.
Oh, it looks like Justin Rodden got in the back bumper of Livingston, and you see the 12 get involved in Mahan.
Yeah.
And Don Runkle, unfortunately, is up in smoke.
Yep, and all of his dreams have also gone
Up in smoke. So caution number 8 on the track.
And, you know, God, I hate to say it, but this kind of happened Sunday night in the trucks as well. You know, we had a couple good little runs there in the first third, 2/3 of the race. Then we got to the last third of the race, and it was caution after caution after caution. And this field is thinning out, so I think universally they all need to make a decision to just kind of race to the last 10 to 15 laps and try and keep this thing going. But maybe we can get back to some good hard racing here. I don't know if we're going to see anybody come in here. I don't know if there's much advantage. Tim Johnston, though, still sitting out there.
Guess who the lucky dog is?
Norm Pelletier?
He is now back on the lead lap. The Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award, Norman Pelletier, the third storm. And Norman, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment. And he just blew up.
You're kidding, right?
He just blew up.
No, he did. Oh,
happened.
my. Oh,
Apparently, Coastal Safety Auditors doesn't offer engine equipment and services,
wow.
but fire and life safety equipment services they do. I feel bad, but I want to laugh. That there is a Benny Hill moment if I ever seen one.
I'm speechless after that. I mean, that is the royal kick in the crotch if I've ever seen it, man.
I mean, is there a possible way to get the replay of that of a Lucky Dog Award? This might be the first time in iRacing and well, probably not iRacing history, but in history of broadcasting that somebody's blown up getting a lucky dog. So he takes the lucky dog. Right here, we're talking about Coastal Safety Auditors, you know, and what they do, and all of a sudden, kaboomy!
That is just the absolute worst. 105 laps he spent trying to get that back.
And for him, it went, well, up in smoke.
Is that the underlying theme of this race?
Apparently. All right, gonna get one to go this time by. Same top three we had just before the caution. Tim Johnston, Brian Yazik, Ricky Harden, Jeff Ward, Nick Cohan going to be your top five.
Well, Don Ruckle has put it behind the wall and is headed over to the sponsor's tent. So,
who's at the sponsor's tent? I missed that.
That would be Zigzag.
Oh, yes. Something tells me he doesn't sign autographs with pens, if you know what I mean. Anyways, and I'm not talking about Stone and Chisel either. Anyway.
Let's go. Here we go. It's time to party, baby.
Oh, Tim Johnston got to bring him to the green. Pace car's going to pit road, not Tim Johnston. Oh, they check up again in the back. And this time, Ricky Harden is going to clear, for now, Brian Yazik. Cohan's going to clear.
Those five up front fighting as hard as anybody is throughout the field. Look at Yazik go up top. Cohan fighting down on the bottom. Oh, boy.
Ooh, Cohan slides it. Everybody getting loose off that corner. Shout out to Gus Polanco there in our YouTube chat talking about the fun racing he's seen. I'm not sure if it's his first time enjoying iRacing here on the Global Sim Racing channel, but we appreciate him watching.
Yazik's stuck up top right now. I don't know if that's where he wants to be, but he's fighting. And then they have just in front of him Ward fighting with Cohan. Now Ward dumps down to the inside. And he's going to complete that pass on Nick Cohan. Ward up to third. Cohan
Drew
comes
Carroll
fight back.
No, Drew Carroll going to take fifth. Didn't mean to step on you there again, Sean.
It's all right. Ward able to run away, though, from Cohan here initially. Going to try and get to work on the top three. The top two, Ricky Harden and Tim Johnston.
If Harden's going to make a move, he needs to make it now because the shark noise is playing behind him. Tim Johnston leading this race, looking for win number one. Ricky Harden looking for win number three as he won the Daytona 300 earlier this year. And, of course, the win at Talladega was win number two. He didn't start last week's race, or else he could have potentially went 3 for 3. I say last week again. 2 weeks ago. That's like saying on Friday you work tomorrow and you really work on Monday.
Man, your top three right now are a couple of Carolina drivers and a Mid-South driver. All the way up here in Milwaukee. Knocking it down.
That's the way it goes. Sometimes you get these dominant regions sometimes to get out there and Whoa,
Yeah,
Chipboy got
boy.
loose. Carroll gets loose right behind him.
Wow. Opens the door for Yazik. Here comes Yazik. Yazik was able to get around Carroll there.
Oh,
because
Mark
Carroll
gets the
should-
bumper to
yeah.
Cohen. Teammates not playing nice. Oh, Cohen. That's allowing the leaders to get away.
Yeah, it really kind of is. And boy, almost they holding Yazik up a little bit, maybe?
Leaders are up there like Monty Python. Run away. Oh, Red McBride's going around. Tom
Oh,
McBride got
yes,
him.
he is.
Oh, tags the wall a little bit.
Boy, but everybody was able to get by him without getting into him. Been a lot of attrition here at the Milwaukee Mile tonight, Chris.
You know, this is one of those tracks right here where you're a road course guy, Sean. I try to be, and I'm not. You can treat this a little bit like a road course. And when you're on a road course, here's a good example right here. You get the nose open that you could dive it in there, but in the end, maybe there wasn't room there. Kind of like you dive into a corner trying to make a pass on a road course.
Well, the problem with diving it in here is you just don't have any banking to work with. The natural tendency of that car, all that weight, is it for it to slide up the track. If you're going to do that, you got to be able to hold on to it. But in that situation there, I just don't think it was there. There wasn't enough of it there anyway to pull it off. And well, it's okay because again, damage minimal there. Everybody coming in here,
Leaders are in, yeah.
What expects to be fresh boots. I don't
Now,
know if you're going to
here's
need any
where-
fuel.
I think Johnston and Yazik and those guys are going to lose here because I think you're going to see a lot of 2 tires here. They might have to go for 4. Tommy Ryan overshooting his pit stall.
Oh, looks like the call is 4. Looks like
Everybody's
the call
going
is
4.
Harden is out first.
Tim Johnston, wow. They stole the track position. That's huge for them.
Yazik could have come out in 4th, just ahead of Nick Cohan. Looks like Cohan was the big loser there, guys.
Also, Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award goes to the Daytona winner last week, Rich Jetty. Steel Horse Racing Team, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Godzilla gets his lap back. But problem is he's 23 laps down.
Go, 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 Godzilla.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Again, we appreciate everybody viewing us tonight on the Global Sim Racing Channel's YouTube page, also on iRacing Live. If, as you see, there's some people chatting. If you want to chat with us, Sean and all of us, we do talk. We don't ignore you. We see all the great viewers watching
Well,
tonight.
well, okay,
we ignore some.
Maybe some of it, yeah.
Johnny Sykes, that's a cool name.
Not to be confused with former Whitesnake guitarist John Sykes. Or maybe it is.
You're aging
That's
me
the
there,
case,
buddy.
And if that's the case, then Mr. Sykes and I have something to talk about when we're done. So we'll get his opinion on various bowstrings. So that's.
I was waiting for you to go to about what's the definition of classic rock.
No.
The question that everybody's asked about that music format for 20 years now.
Yeah, that's a very big discussion, Chris. You're in radio. You know that's a very big discussion.
Oh, trust me, I hear it all the time. Hey, why is Nirvana on classic rock? Why is it not on classic rock?
We could do a 6-hour roundtable about what is classic rock, and I don't think anything would be solved at the end of 6 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Problem is, we got to remember it's 2017. Nirvana was the early to mid 90s. That's 25 years. What's an antique? That's my point. I'm just saying.
well, the lights are out. Maybe just maybe, this is the one that gets us to the end.
Hey, Johnny Sykes is a guitar player apparently in chat. Not him though. All right, pace car going to hang a left again as we wrap up the 9th caution. Tim Johnson going to lead him back to green. Ricky Harden. Ricky with a really good restart.
Right there with him, Chris.
He needs to get down if he's going to get to that bottom because Jeff Ward is there.
Ooh, Ricky cannot find an opening there. That Ward's not going to let him have it.
Now remember, Twin Ring Motegi, it was Ricky Harden and Jeff Ward who wrecked late in that race.
Man, Yazik really struggling.
almost clipped it.
Yeah, struggling on the restarts. That's what I was just going to say. Really struggling on the restarts tonight. Not used to seeing that out of Yazik.
Wow, James Grahula, 4 wheels under the yellow. Passes Thomas George.
George going to cross him over, take it back.
I think he just learned that you don't do that move. Was he? This is a video game or something? Anyways. Ooh, Ricky getting a little loose. So one car spinning in the back.
Matt Murphy spinning. Matt Murphy spinning. All by himself.
Caution 10.
Look at the replay here. That's the black, green, and white car there, the 42. Oh, maybe a little bit of help from Rhett McBride there, possibly. Let's look at it from another angle here, Chris.
On board McBride here. You see the yellow stripe on Murph. Goes into the corner. Murphy going to line up just a wee bit. McBride just... It looks like they just checked up, and McBride had the momentum.
Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much on these flat tracks. Hey, quick shout out to Andrew Keach, first time iRacing watcher, checking in on us tonight.
Is that a vet as his main pitcher on chat?
Yes, it appears to be. That's so tiny. It's so hard for me to see. I'm blind.
I see that.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. So caution 10, 37 laps under caution now, the 124. We did have one good green run earlier. As let's see who comes to pit road. Tommy Ryan going to come. Gerald Livingston. Don Wilco, and then Murphy going to come to pit road here. Trying to see your Coastal Safety Honors lucky dog might end up being Rich Jetty again. All Rich Jetty needs is 22 more cautions, and he'll be back on the lead lap. But your Coastal Safety Honors one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. He'd blow up when he got the lucky dog to get his lead lap back. The next week again, these guys hit the Brickyard for 300 miles around that track. That'll be race number 9 of the 12-race summer schedules. We come up on the end of that already.
Yeah, boy, where does the time go, Chris? I mean, we've just really zipped through this season. It feels like we were we were at Daytona just a couple weeks ago.
Well, I tell you what, you want to see challenging?
Okay, you know where I was going with that.
The last 5 races here of the 12-race schedule. We're at Milwaukee tonight, challenging. Indianapolis next week, challenging. Mosport the following week, really challenging. Pocono the following week, very challenging. Watkins Glen to finish the season.
The summer season, yes.
I think we're going to separate the men from the boys here the next 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, the Premier Racing League not afraid to throw those road courses at you either.
If you missed earlier this year, we were at Sonoma. We had Monza a few weeks ago. Some reason I remember being a part of that race. I don't remember why though.
Monza, Suzuka,
that was a fun one. Last lap pass there for the win.
Chris, we're going to restart with, I think, 23 laps to go.
Are you sure about that?
I believe the lights are going to go out right here, and if they do, that'll give us 23 on the restart.
Okay. I'll just make sure your math was right here.
Yeah, well, I'm getting a little help with that math, too. Thank you, Joel Cuez of Joe Real Time, but anyway. I think we're going to see a mad dash here. Nobody opted to come down and pit that time. I think some drivers are ready to get this race over with. And, boy, they may be going all out here. It may be all or nothing to the finish.
Sean,
Johnston.
I know we're 4 laps shy of 20 to go, Sean, but normally at 20 to go, something goes on.
It's time to boogie, baby. Let's get this party started. That's where I was going with this. Let's ratchet it up a few and get to the checkers here. The pace car getting ready to pull off here, Chris.
Well, I said it at the beginning of the race. I'll say it again here. 23 to go. Let's send it. The turn 1, and let's get a winner here. Tim Johnston. Jeff Ward with a huge jump.
Oof. Wow.
I think he's clean, too. And 3 wide to 1.
Yazik gets the meat.
Was perfect time to. Oh, Tim Johnston spinning.
Johnson's around. He's down below the racing line, and
No
it does
caution.
not bring out a caution. Wow. And he's got a pit. I'm sorry, he had to take a tow. Johnston, all the way from the top to the end of the field, just like that, and takes it behind the wall.
Oh my. And here comes Thomas George inside Ricky Harden for 3rd.
Something tells me Johnson not too happy with the way that worked out there, Chris.
No. Look at this gaggle back here.
Yeah, I'm watching this gaggle.
Yeesh.
And Drew Carroll up there on the outside trying to do something about it. And then Rhett McBride up there just trying to hang on to that car. Just behind him. Oh,
Drew Carroll gets turned by Rod.
Yeah.
Saves it.
Rod,
and there goes Krula. Randy Yoakum getting a piece.
maybe sometimes it's the things you don't say that are the best things not to say. I don't know.
He had it saved. I think Justin Rodden stuck on him until he went around. Let's see here. More contact, more. Wow.
Yeah, you kind of do have to back out of that at some point, don't you, Chris?
You would think. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's he's got the WWE car, so that would be like throwing somebody through glass almost, maybe.
Well, let's just say he threw his head into the turnbuckle once, and then he just kept slamming it in there. So.
Oh. So he didn't eat the turnbuckle, right, George? All right, let's see what pit stops we have here. Everybody faking so far. Randy Yoakum going to be the first. Now, while everybody's on pit, it looks like most of the guys who are in the wreck are on pit road. Let's take a look back here. What happened to Tim Johnston? The 54 car went from the penthouse to the outhouse, as they say here.
And remember, this did not bring out the caution, folks.
Ooh, you know what?
I don't think he
we
got
can
any
back
help.
it up a little bit here. I think he clips the yellow apron.
He might have put the yellow curbs down there.
Let's restart here. I think he's going to clip the curve here. Right here, maybe? He's looking at car just stops and swap ends.
Yeah, that might have been enough. That transition back might have been enough to just upset the car enough.
Tough break for him, man. Oh, by the way, lucky dog for the third straight caution. Rich Jetty, your coastal safety honor, one lucky dog, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. That's now Norm Peltier 4, Rich Jetty 3, if you're keeping count at home.
Good dog, it is. Good dog. Good dog.
Ironically, both of them won at Daytona last week.
Bird is getting the mother of all workouts tonight. That's right. I think we're going to take it back to the beach tomorrow.
Just don't let him out in the rip currents.
No, we got to take care of our boy there.
You gonna take him out of Montauk?
Cars. Nah, I don't think we're gonna go that far tomorrow. But we've got 15 cars left going at it here. We started with 25. It's been a long race, Chris.
Yeah, 11 cautions. We're just a couple minutes away from the 11 o'clock hour on the East Coast. That's 5 o'clock if you're in Hawaii. Appreciate everybody hanging out in chat.
Very active chat this evening. Yes,
everybody's being positive too, which is cool, because you get a race like this sometimes, you'll see chat just start going nuts about, oh, wreckfest. Yeah, you're not seeing that, which is cool. I definitely appreciate that out of the viewers. We like positivity here. Like, I'm positive we're going to get a green flag finish here.
And Chris, by the way, if you were in Sydney, Australia, it's lunchtime there right now.
Oh.
Just about 1 o'clock almost.
Can we get something on the bobby?
That's where I was going with that. Yes, sir.
Well, you know what? It's Milwaukee. Can we put brats on the bobby?
We can put brats on the barbie. You bet, sir.
All right. We're going to have 16 laps to go. You have a Loud Pedal Motorsport 1-2, Thomas George 3rd, Ricky Harden 4th. Pace car going to go get some fuel. I think it's about out. Ward gets a real good restart. Thomas George going to try to get a second, but not able to. Now, remember Nick Cohan and Jeff Ward, they were playing fender tag earlier. How about, oh, one car spin and run.
Oh.
He saves it. Oh, Tommy Ryan's in the inside wall.
Oh, wow. Ryan hits it hard.
We'll show you that replay here in a second, but Tommy Ryan is up in smoke. Look like Yoakum got Rodden. And then here's the Tommy Ryan wreck. Comes off turn 4 and... Caution 12.
Yeah, Tommy just... it starts to slide. He overcorrects just a little bit, and it snaps back on him right into that inside retaining wall. That's the fifth car we've seen pop that wall tonight.
Yeah, he's going to need Northern Tools to fix that thing. Now the question is, if you're somebody like Ricky Harden, who's lost some 4 positions here, do you get tires? F, don't do that. Let's see who comes to pit road here. Bueller.
Position too important. Yeah, position too important here.
All right. So, I guess we get it out of the way again. Your Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog for the 5th time in a row goes to Rich Jetty, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Coastal Safety Honors. In all seriousness, thank you, Coastal Safety Honors, for sponsoring the Lucky Dog Award. We appreciate that. We're going to step away our last break, but we're going to go side by side as we're going to try to get to the finish on the Global Sim Racing channel. Back at the Milwaukee Mile, we're going to go green with 10 laps to go. Jeff Ward been a dominant one. He's led 80 out of the 140 laps so far tonight. Nick Cohan's been all over him. Thomas George. Hey, look at that fourth place guy. Rhett McBride. He's at everything but I think the ice cream shop in the infield.
Yeah, makes just, well, there are a lot of guys still up here in this thing. I'm scratching my head going, how are they still at this?
Here we go. Pace car pulls off Jeff Ward. Cohan with a good restart. Thomas George a good restart. Top 4 gets single file.
Yazik got a good run there on the restart. Stuck up top. But he's got momentum coming off turn 2.
He's going to drag race Rhett McBride there. That damage, that's going to slow McBride down horsepower-wise. Coming to Calamity Corner. I thought I just heard somebody shifting. I'll have to catch that here in a second. I could be hearing things. I am getting old.
That might have been Brian Neff. Oh, wait a minute. He's not in this.
Wow. Don, you signed a waiver. No picking on viewers.
I'm still watching Yazik here. He's trying to find a way around Red McBride, man. He wants the shot at this podium. Hey, he's looking to the inside.
Wow, Ricky Hart shut the door on Carroll. First time tonight I can say it. No Silvio. And I think Carroll gave him the bumper. Cars are dancing off turn 4.
Yes, they are. Man, I can't wait to ask a driver or two about that.
Pushed up the track. Cohan's there.
Yazik almost put the chrome horn to to Rhett McBride.
Hey, well, Jeff Ward is just good off the corner. Cohan's driving it deep, but Jeff just walks away off the corner. You can see where Cohan just gains, and then Ward just walks. All right, point of no return next time by here. For those who don't watch iRacing often, the point of no return means there's no green, white checkers in iRacing. So, Cohan gets loose.
Oh, he's
pretty much the next flag ends it.
Yazik looking to the inside once again. Oh, boy, they're so close. Him and Rhett McBride. Yazik gets a little power to the center. He's got him.
And he'll clear him, and here comes Carroll with him.
Yazik able to make it stick down there on the bottom. What a great move by Brian Yazik to take it away from Rhett McBride, who'll get up to 4th.
You wonder, now Nick Cohan put the bumper just a couple weeks ago at Suzuka to win the race.
I wonder if Yazik's got enough to get to Thomas George back here. I don't know. George really falling off these top 2, though. It is a race between Jeff Ward and Nick Cohan here over the last 3.
Matter of fact, I believe that driver 2 weeks ago was Rhett McBride, who got the bumper put to him by Nick Cohan on the final corner at Suzuka to lose. Will Cohan put the bumper to his teammate?
I don't think he can get close enough to do it. Well, I'll eat my hat right there. He did pull up to him there.
The center corner, he is definitely out driving Ward. It's the coming off the corners where Ward's getting him. 2 to go, and we got trouble on the track. Rich Jetty's off the pace. And he's straight, though, so everything's good.
Ricky Harden had trouble there, too.
Yeah, Rich Jetty stops on the track.
Not sure why Jetty stops on the track there, to be honest with you, but that does bring out that caution.
Yeah, he didn't. I wouldn't say he didn't stop, but he the car ran out of power. We'll call it.
Well, can't ready to call it. Last lap.
At least it's the last lap. So, anyways, Jeff Ward going to come off turn 4. He won Sunday night in American Pool Supply Truck Series. He won Tuesday night in the Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series. Tonight, he's pulling the broom out, and he's going to do some sweeping. Jeff Ward, from the pole, leads 90 laps and wins the Chuck Pop Skala 150 Memorial here at Milwaukee and sweeps the week. Nick Cohan going to get second. Thomas George, Brian Yazek, Rhett McBride going to be your top 5. What a race. That was definitely a wild ending. We'll talk to the top 3. We'll recap the race and get you ready for Indianapolis next Thursday night. But first, we'll take a break as you're watching the Global Sim Racing Channel. Back at the Milwaukee Mile, where tonight Jeff Ward has picked up his 2nd win of the season and swept the whole entire week. As Sunday night he won the American Pool Supplies Truck Series race here at Milwaukee, and then Tuesday night won the Grand National Series, Sim Racing Apps Grand National Series race here at Milwaukee, and tonight he is now the winner of the Patriot Fire Cup Series race here at Milwaukee. As Ward, your winner. Nick Cohan finishes second, Thomas George third, Brian Yazik, Rhett McBride, who is a part of at least half the cautions, was finished in fifth. Great run for him, Sean.
Yeah, it really was. Big night. And, boy, I'll tell you, really enjoyed this race here this evening, Chris.
And Drew Carroll finishing sixth, Matt Murphy seventh, Ricky Harden eighth, Randy Yoakum and Justin Rodden finishing in the top 10 as we take a look at 11 through 20.
Yep.
Finishing in the 11th position. Go ahead, Sean.
James Gruel going to finish 11th tonight. John Wilco with the 12th place finish. Gerald Livingston, 13th. Tommy Ryan, 14th. 15th going to go to Tim Johnston. Rich Jetty does finish this race. He gets it done in 16th. Tyler Dalton, tough night for him, 17th. Norman Pelletier, well, we chronicled his adventures and ends with a blown motor. 18th, 19th, going to go to Woodrow Mahan, and Snoop Doggy Don Runkle going to round out the top 20.
Norman Pelletier, the first driver in history to blow a motor after getting a lucky dog. Interesting. Jonathan Cadell, 21st. The Captain Motorsports team, 22nd, 23rd, with Devin Serra and Devin Cannon. Jonathan Lawrence, Calvin Filarski, your 25 racers. I don't think Filarski started, actually. So 24 guys started the race when it was all over with. So, but we're going to go to Victory Lane, talk to Mr. Ward here as he joins us here. There he is. Jeff Ward joins us. And Jeff, congratulations. Your second win of the season, your third this week. What is it about Milwaukee?
I don't know, Chris. It's just been a heck of a week, man. I think it's the first time I've ever swept, 3 different series. So there's only been a couple guys do it in PRL, so that's pretty awesome that we was able to do that. Just an all-around good night. Some feathers were ruffled there, especially with my teammate Nick there. We did a couple bumping runs on each other, but we're both going for the win. We both had good cars, and this is hard racing. Hopefully we can chat a little bit about it and work it out. But yeah, man, it's awesome to get to sweep the week like that.
Does it make it easier for you, Jeff, knowing it is a teammate in that kind of situation where if it's somebody maybe not on your team, okay, there might be a little more hard feelings?
I think it almost makes it a little harder because I'm trying so hard to stay off this bumper. I know I can race Nick pretty hard. We've always raced each other pretty hard, and some guys, I try to race everybody clean, but there is guys I know I can lean on because they would lean on me in return. And sometimes when you're racing teammates, it's a little harder because you want to try to stay off of them. But we kind of went at it tonight and come out on top, so no complaints.
Well, Jeff, you did an awesome job tonight. You led 91 laps when it was all over with, so dominant fashion. Talk about the restarts, though, because that's what made it tough. A couple times you were on the outside, got shuffled back, and you had to fight your way up through there.
Yeah, restarts were tricky here all week. It's a lot like Pocono. The pace car, as soon as he dips down, the green almost goes immediately. So you really don't have much time to react, and I was kind of trying to sag back on the pace car to give myself enough cushion to, try to get that jump that we needed. But yeah, the outside was pretty much terrible. If you got out there, you almost had to do a slide job on somebody or pin somebody down to have any chance at moving forward. So those were tricky all night. I think we navigated them pretty well for the most part. And I know Tim had trouble with one of the restarts there. I kind of went on green and he went really, really late, and was able to actually pass him on the outside there, and I think he got loose down there. But yeah, restarts were tricky.
Well, Jeff, you did a wonderful job here this evening. You got that second win, and now you get to go to Indianapolis, which is another flat track. So what do you say? Maybe you go get another one.
Yeah, Indy's pretty fun. Was able to get the Coke 400, so it's kind of on my list of something I'd really like to do is try to get the 2 big races in 1 year. So we'll go into Indy. I know Brian's really good there, and hopefully keep the momentum rolling.
Absolutely, Jeff Ward. Congratulations on your win. I said it earlier tonight, Jeff. You got Bose on your car here this evening. I think you can change that E to S because you were the boss all week here at Milwaukee. So nice job.
Thanks, Chris. If I could, I'd like to, I know this race was special tonight. I think you know why. So I just want to say our thoughts are with you, and I want to say thanks to my team. Thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast, and thanks to my dad, who was also I think he was watching tonight. So pretty special night altogether. So we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. John, I believe you have the second place finisher and teammate Nick Cohan.
I do. I've caught up with Nick Cohan down here celebrating a podium finish here for the Pennsylvania driver. Nick, how you feeling after this long one tonight?
I ain't celebrating anything finishing second, but hate to say it, a decent point tonight, but second place, I guess we'll take it.
This really proved to be a challenging track for the drivers of the Premier Racing League this week. Why? What's the answer? What's the simple answer to that, Nick?
I don't know. You're gonna have to ask them because they spin out every 3 laps, which kind of sucks. But it's just a one groove track, and you're all fighting for one lane, and I think that creates problems. But some of these guys got to show respect out there, and I think that'll go a long way. Instead of running 2 laps of green and 45 of caution.
Yeah, it was a bit of what they call a slog tonight. But hey, listen, take the points out of it, okay? Turn that frown upside down and let's smile. Walk away.
I don't
with
like
this thing.
points nights, Sean.
Well, hey, listen, you survived this one, and I think that was the key here tonight. Based on what we saw, I think surviving it is one a personal victory, and 2 something to at least smile about. But hey, listen, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We'll see you next time. We get to open things up a bit next week when we go to Indy. What do you think about that track?
I like Indy. A little wide open, really unique, and I like unique places, and that's why I do enjoy this track. It's really challenging, like Indy and other unique tracks. But hopefully we can get a good run there, and hopefully get a 3rd win of the season. Be nice to get back on track here and get another win and try and catch up to Brian there in points, and just put the Toyota Racing Camry up front.
All right, Nick. Well, we're gonna count on you to go get him. So we'll see you next week. All right, buddy.
Thanks. See you guys. Good job tonight.
All right, and that is Nick Cohan. Thanks, buddy, for coming in. Chris has caught up with Thomas George. He finishes out our podium this evening with a great run for the 24. Chris?
Yeah, Thomas George joins us. Tom, you, I don't know how else to put this, but you were almost the quiet one out of the bunch tonight. You just kind of rode there. You and Drew Carroll had your battles at the beginning of the race. But then for the most part, you just kind of hung out there top 5 all night.
I overachieved on this car. I couldn't find any speed anywhere. I knew if there was going to be a bunch of late race cautions, you had to get the right track position. Luckily, I got what I needed, and I had been laying back on restarts for most of the night, and then on 25 to go, I was like, okay, I was able to time the 54, who was leading, I think at the time. He kept laying back, and it kept stacking up the field, and I was able to just time that restart and got by 55 in the 87 there, took it 3 wide, and it's like, all right, it's time to go. We can't lay back anymore. So it's a good run. It's just tiring, I don't like mile flat tracks, but I'll take a good finish like this.
Talk about the racing behind another car. It seemed like if you were behind another car, your car got tighter and tighter, obviously being in a dirty air, but it seemed like it wore the tire out more.
I don't even know how to answer that. I honestly don't. It just, I wish I knew where these guys could find speed at these. It got tighter regardless. It was tight in the center. That's how these tracks are. I wish I knew where I was losing time in the center of the corner there. It seemed like they were able to rotate and just get back on the throttle a lot quicker and still be able to save their tires. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, or if it's just I just didn't like the track tonight. That's why battled as much as I could and played my cards and got a third place finish. I wanted to try and get the time to restart there with Ward and Nick, or hope they would start playing bumper tag again and I just sneak on in, because I remember Motegi, and I kind of want that to happen to me for once. Just like, let me get one of those lucky wins. I said I'm starting to feel like Kyle Larson. I'm starting to feel like Chase Elliott now.
Oh boy, that's not good. Well, you are wearing a 24 though.
You take top threes. They start those top threes, top twos, top fives. Start finishing up front. They translate into wins sooner or later. You gotta keep chugging along. And then next week's Indianapolis. I like racing there, and gotta try to keep this points battle close. Didn't do it tonight, but minimize the damage. So we'll take it to Indy and try to win ourselves some money and win ourselves at the Brickyard.
There you go, Thomas. Way to look at it. That 24 has won there a few times, by the way. Congratulations on your top 5 run. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, kind sir.
Absolutely. Sean Ambrose, my friend, final thoughts as we get ready to send it home?
A good race this evening. A bit what I expected based on what we'd already seen this week, and hopefully everybody will calm down a little bit, and we get to, like I said in the interview, we get to open things up a little bit at Indy next week. Much different strategy to be played there. It'll be interesting to see how these drivers recover from this week here at the Milwaukee Mile and get set up to run 2.5 miles at Indy on another flat track. But again, the dimensions of that track so much different. Definitely going to take a little bit of different driving style to get around that track at full speed. So looking forward to getting there and looking forward to being back in the booth with you then, Chris.
Should be a lot of fun, and we'll see you in the Circle City come next week. Also, a special thanks to the Premier Racing League for putting on the Patriot Fire Cup Series. Also, thanks to the software and hardware that we use on our broadcast. You see them listed on your screen.
Yes, sir, and we also want to thank the musical contributors Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, whose music you can find at the websites listed. For more information about future races, you can see those listed on screen also. Or you can go to globalsimracingchannel.com, where you can check out past broadcasts and check in on our current schedule of events. We're also on social media, Twitter at GSR Channel, and Facebook. Just type in Global Sim Racing Channel, all one word. You'll pick us up.
Now, the next time we'll be on the air with the Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series is this coming Thursday night, a week from tonight. Round 21, the Patriot Fire Cup Series at the Brickyard. It'll be the Coastal Safety Auditors Brickyard 300 from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Congrats again to our winner, Jeff Ward, tonight. Special shout out to the viewers tonight, and also to the Premier Racing League. Look, I'm not somebody who likes to make things about me or about my family and stuff, but that was really cool. Thank you all very much. Let me get that out there. But for Dougie Beard, I'm Jid Yaman, Sean Ambrose, and Chris Skala. Race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.